Listen to the brand new season of the Voice of Survival podcast every other Friday right here on the Journey into Comics Network at journeyintocomics.com.
The following
is a Journey into Comics.
Journey into Comics.
It's a Journey into Comics.
Is a Journey into Comics.
Journey into Comics.
Journey into Comics.
Network
Production.
We're gonna fuck the sodomites in the dick!
Warning, Podcastrophe imminent. This is Podcastrophe with Dick and Tyler. And Matt. Coming at you with a fistful of heritage on a podcast where anything goes and there are no safe spaces. This is Podcastrophe.
Hello and welcome to Podcastrophe episode 90. I am your host, Dick, and I am joined by both my co-hosts, Tyler and Matt.
Both of us.
Both.
I got both of these beers cocked and locked.
Yeah, you do. I'm almost sad that you didn't get more of the pineapple, because
That's okay.
It's
But
so
that one's
fucking good.
extra pineapple.
It's like
They're making up for it.
normally it's like straight pineapple juice.
This is like extra
This is like
pineapple
extra.
juice.
Like that first drink tasted like I just bit into a fucking whole pineapple.
Yeah, and of course we're talking about the Pineapple Express Slushy XL.
The fucking XL, extra large, folks.
That I got from the 450's 420 release back in April.
It's juicy.
It is. It really
As
is.
they
It's my
say.
last one. And that bums me out.
How can you guys even see me?
Shit.
I don't know.
I can just see your head floating right
Honestly,
now.
yeah, you got the red hat going.
He's just a face.
Where did he go? All I see is some really white legs. Can you see me? Just do this.
So
Let's see if you can become extra invisible. Oh shit!
So last night I took my
Pants
end of the year. I did take my pants off.
Hats
I
on,
did
pants
take.
off.
I took my
Yeah.
end of the year physical evaluation for my schooling.
Okay, I was about to say, dude, it's May. It's the middle of the year.
Passed it.
You don't have herpes.
I don't have herpes.
Good job.
Maybe
Made it another year.
maybe chlamydia. They're
Lucky.
not quite sure yet. I'm waiting on the panel to come back.
That Q-tip really hurt.
God, it is awful. But I was doing. Obviously, it's a physical exam, so I'm bending some pipe, and I'm basically working off of blueprints and basically building what this blueprint says, on a big plywood panel, and it's a pretty involved little test. And the place that I was doing at was very hot, and I had a fucking big heavy sweatshirt on because I'm sick. And whenever I get sick, I get the chills. Like, it doesn't matter if I have the flu or not, I'm cold. And I took that sweatshirt off and I left it at my school last night, and I got sad. So the next warmest sweatshirt I have is this fucking thing. And as obnoxious and fucking ignorant as this sweatshirt is, because it's camo, which I shit on all the time.
I mean, I can't see you except for a pair of vicious eyes preying on me.
Fucking Predator Quest, man. Used to be a really good show. Used to make really good products. Let's get to calling. But
Was it anything like Adventure, Ghost Adventures?
No, this was shooting
I think it was
predatory
a
animals.
hunting show.
There's no
hunting predatory animals around the world.
There's no bro. Do you feel that energy, bro?
Well, there was
Check out see my arm hair.
there
See my
was
arm hair? It's standing up, bro.
There was a little bit of that. It was a coyote saying, "Oh, I feel all that energy, and now I'm dead."
Kinetic energy.
And that energy is fucking kinetic, and it's terminal velocity of a fucking hot metal object screaming about 3,000 feet per second.
That's intense.
It was really enjoyable. It's one of my hobbies. I like to hunt things,
I'm erect.
especially nuisance animals. What part of what I said got you erect?
The fact that you are all that is man.
Thank you. I thought maybe it was the hot metal traveling
just-
3,000 feet per second.
I'm just gonna.
That's
That's the part that got
My
me.
You're just
answer-
legitimately erect.
My answer is just
Thank you. I appreciate that. I needed
as,
that
as
today.
Hiccup would say in How to Train Your Dragon, you gestured to me. You gestured to all of me.
Nice reference.
Thank you.
Very underappreciated franchise.
I love those movies.
I think those movies are actually quite good, and I think they're pretty popular.
They're popular, but I don't think they get recognized.
Yeah, no
enough.
one. You never hear anybody talking about them though. I love those movies.
But I mean, like, are they like a transcendent thing? That like, did they really change animated films?
No, they didn't. But neither did Wreck-It Ralph,
That's true.
and neither did I almost said Toy Story, but that obviously would have been totally incorrect. Neither did fucking Frozen.
I would say Frozen maybe because it was more of like the first big musical animated film.
Was it really though?
But I mean, so it's a Disney film,
Mhm.
and obviously all of Disney is animated. But this is what their second or third movie that was in that animation style. Tangled was the first, so that was a musical. But Frozen, I think, was just more appealing to the younger kids, and then it just kept.
Well,
blowing up.
Frozen was definitely the. You and I have had a lot of discussion about the renaissance of Disney.
Mm-hmm.
I think with Tangled and Frozen, and then Moana shortly after that, that is definitely the second coming of the renaissance of music driven Disney films.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I
I brought up Wreck-It Ralph. I mean, in Ralph Breaks the Internet, they had 45 minutes of the movie strictly calling out that, that's what all the Disney movies are with all the princesses, But yeah, I think part of the reason How to Train Your Dragon doesn't get recognized is because it's a DreamWorks film.
Yeah.
I think Shrek, the Shrek franchise, maybe not the last couple for sure, but definitely 1 and 2.
Shrek is love.
I mean,
Shrek is life.
Shrek should be recognized.
no, that fucking video is creepy,
Yeah.
man.
I had to. I had to reference
It is
it.
fucking creepy, though.
I had to.
Creepy as fuck.
But I think if Shrek...
I'm just on a kick today.
If
man.
Shrek was a Disney film instead of a DreamWorks film, I think it would have been recognized a lot more. I think eventually Disney's going to acquire DreamWorks just like they have everything
Disney's
else.
acquiring everything.
Mm-hmm.
But
Do you see how hard they went on Hulu?
they're gonna acquire a whole continent.
We fucking own you now.
yeah, dude. Like,
yeah, they did.
I'm okay with it,
Oh fuck yeah!
But to flex on Hulu so hard, like we fucking own you now.
Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I think with
We're gonna
Frozen,
augment you.
like Frozen, kind of was a transcending thing because of the musical genre. It kind of brought that back.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's where Frozen would stand above like Tangled or Wreck-It Ralph or
Yeah.
something. I put How to Train Your Dragon in the same category as the Kung Fu Panda movies.
Really,
Definitely better than the Kung Fu Panda
I love
movies.
the Kung Fu Panda movies.
I like them as well.
I haven't seen the third one, so I can't.
Third one is. Oh, no, wait. I watched the second one.
I love the second one with the peacock. I think
Yeah.
that's super cool. I thought that one was
Who
awesome.
played the peacock?
I don't know.
I looked it up.
I don't
So-
know voice actors except for like iconic voices, so that's why I'm pretty upset about Lion King in July because they brought back fucking James Earl Jones for Mufasa. They didn't bring back Jeremy Irons for Scar though.
Yeah, that's silly.
And Scar is
Who's playing Scar this time around? Is it Gary Oldman?
yeah,
I
it's
think-
Gary Oldman.
I thought it was a guy from 12 Years a Slave.
No, it's Gary Oldman.
What the fuck did I see on IMDb?
I have
Let's
no
get the
idea.
R&D department on it.
IMDb that shit.
Matt, I need you to go move your car.
Oh shit.
Live on podcast.
That's why I park on the street.
I thought about it and I was like, where are they gonna go?
Let's see here. Directed Jon Favreau.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Scar. Yeah, okay, so that's not Gary Oldman.
Who is it?
I think
Shh.
12 Years a Slave.
Click on him.
Chiwetel. It's I don't know how to fucking say his
Just
name.
click on him.
Okay. Shit. Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Sure.
Okay.
I like that guy. He was
12 Years a
Mordo
Slave.
in
Oh,
Doctor Strange.
okay, yeah, okay. I recognize him now. That's
He was the villain in Serenity.
Yep, Doctor Strange. There it is.
Pretty accomplished actor. Big fan of that guy.
Who else we got in
Pretty.
here?
I agree with Matt for sure though. I'm pretty upset that it's not Jeremy Irons
Okay, I recognize this guy now.
because
Billy Eichner.
you want to talk about iconic roles. I mean, everyone wants to talk about Mufasa and James Earl Jones. Scar was in a lot more of the fucking movie and played a bigger role than Mufasa did.
Yep.
You know, everyone, you know, if not that I've debated fucking Lion King with anybody, but or I would, but you know, if what's up, Baxter, you fat fuck. But people talk about how, you know, Mufasa influenced and made Simba into the fucking the king of the pride, the fucking king of the rock.
Yeah.
Fucking Scar did it as much as Mufasa did. Because if Scar wasn't such a cruel fuck, Simba probably wouldn't have came back. You know, Simba got the pussy, and then he's like, hey, I want to keep getting this pussy.
And she was like, bro, shit's going down.
You like that, how that's a semi-pun?
Yeah.
Because he's getting the pussy. He's a pussy cat. Meow. But, have you seen this shit going around about how fucking Simba and Nala are siblings?
Oh, yeah, because there's only one male in the pride, and it's fucking Mufasa.
Yeah. We love fucking incest porn.
Guess.
Even in fucking animated Disney movies.
Did you see that weird shit Brett Maxwell posted the other day of like, it was a picture of like an ad that popped up on his, it's an eBay ad. And it was literally just like a fan painting of Star Wars, and it was Princess Leia in front of Jabba the Hutt. But Jabba the Hutt, his tail was penetrating her.
Oh, a little hentai.
And that came up as an ad on Facebook.
Wowzers.
It's like, what the fuck? It's like, what are the odds? Welcome, David Linder.
Dave
and Andrew Poor. Holy shit.
Yee! We got all kinds of people in here.
Oh yeah. Well,
Saw it.
AJ was here. Brandon, I'm guessing, is no longer here. He tends to just pop in and say, "I'm gonna watch this, but I'm not gonna say nothing, unless we're talking about something."
That's fair.
Something he likes.
I'm not gonna watch this unless they're talking about something. It's a podcast. I hope we're fucking talking.
One of these days, he's just gonna pop in, and we're just gonna be like,
It's just all three of us just staring at the camera.
Just dead face too.
None of us have our pants on.
I think I did.
But
Brett
we all
Maxwell
have hats
wrong.
on. Hats on, pants off.
Hats on, pants off. We're all wearing wife beaters.
Oh man,
That's our new name on Rocket League as our club.
Hats on, pants off. I like it. Or hats on, pants off. Or pants off, hats
Oh
on.
man, I did it.
Hats on, pants off.
Oh shit, I did Brett dirty.
Did you fucking
Yeah.
not like it?
did.
I have been like
I did,
on my game the last couple days because he called me out. He compared me to you.
and he did.
F
And
and
that
A.
hurt
Carl.
my
And I was on track to doing better, and then I did this. That just goes to show you, like, I just, it's not even like,
I don't even look who it is.
exactly.
I just hit the share button.
exactly.
I don't.
Typically, I try to look who it is, and if it's someone I give a shit about, I will appreciate the post and I'll share it.
Why does it matter?
It doesn't. It really doesn't.
I don't give a shit.
I don't either.
I just want to share the funny stuff.
I do too, but I want us to
I
do
got
it
rid
in a
of the
way.
social media.
I want us to do it in a way that I don't get shit on, and you don't get compared to me.
Imgur and Reddit, dude.
I can't do Reddit, man.
That's all I do now.
It's nothing but fucking neck beards, just mad at everything.
Well, I had a pretty gnarly one before I shaved before I came here.
It's the Harry Knowleses of the fucking internet. Which Harry Knowles is the internet.
So I don't really know where we want to go next, but I kind of have a little bit of a rant to go on, and I haven't been on that train for a while.
Did you watch something that I told? I can't remember if I told you to
You
watch
told
it.
me not to watch it.
Okay, we're gonna watch something real quick.
Okay.
I have a topic as well.
To the YouTubes.
To the YouTubes, the YouTubes.
Whoever wants to go first between you and I don't care. Thank you.
But when Lockup visited Kentucky State Penitentiary, we met Fleece Johnson, a longtime inmate who practices a very different kind of homosexuality.
Well, we have sexual desires, right? So you got a bunch of men locked up in one place. All of them get hard. All of them's horny. All of them got sexual desires. So what are they going to do? You won't let them have a woman. They going to have each of somebody's going to have to give us some booty. And it's just that simple.
The most memorable story that Fleece told us was about the place and importance that booty has in a maximum security penitentiary. And he went on about it and on about it.
In his prison, booty was more important than food. Booty, a man's butt.
I don't know if this is a parody or a real story.
It was more booty, having some booty was more important than drinking water, man. I like booty.
Johnson went on to tell our crew how he used to satisfy his sexual desires, especially during the 1970s and 80s, when he was most active and prison security was more lax.
When I see one, and he looks good to me, when I go see him, I say, you come here. I say, I'm telling you what, I like you, and I want you. And we can do it the easy way or the hard way. So the choice is yours, right? And it was always yes.
Johnson also had a warning for the new generation of inmates. They might be asking for trouble from old-timers.
You know, they got this thing where they sag their pants their butt. It's a style, they call it some sort of gangster style. You know, it's sexy to us, right? And see, but they weren't prepared for this, right? So you sag your pants in her, man, somebody be up in your butt, you know, and it's just that simple.
Johnson even let the lockup crew know that when he was in his prime, they wouldn't be safe from his advances either.
If y'all had been in her back then in them days, and as much as I like booty, I probably felt one of y'all butts. And y'all was walking past me. And dared you to say something. I'm not no shame in my game. This is nothing that I'm ashamed to admit. I am what I am. I'm a warrior too, you know, so let that be known. I'm a warrior.
Yeah.
Wowzers.
I mean, I really had nowhere to go with that. I just wanted to show you guys and let you guys be exposed.
I like booty.
To that.
Why is the toilet still running?
Oh no.
Let me check. Go flip that handle up, Matt.
I will.
Take care of that.
Sorry, my booty's hanging out.
Yeah. You better keep that booty in check.
I really had nowhere to go with that other than, like, I heard about this.
Man,
it
makes me uncomfortable.
And I just had to expose to it.
This does spark a good conversation, and I'm interested to see how you and Matt feel about it. But in the neutered society that we have today, where everything is, you know, feelings matter more than right and wrong, feelings matter more than, you know, good and bad, you know, you hurt my feelings, so you're a monster and you're wrong. Like, if you aren't gay or if you aren't homosexual in some, I don't even know how to say it. Like, someone out there right now is in their mind, or maybe not even in their mind, but out loud calling me a fucking bigoted, anti-gay person. But I'm not gay. I'm totally okay with people being gay. I've had good friends who were gay. I don't want nothing in my ass.
You've publicly said that many times on this show.
And I don't want
You're not about that booty.
I'm not about that booty or the ding ding. Not a fan of the ding ding. And it's sad that, you know, if you say that, you know, however tactfully you say it around certain people.
Yeah, there's like
well, you're a homophobe.
Yeah, it's like, no, that has nothing to do with it.
I'm not gay, man.
I hate that shit.
Yeah, it's bad.
It like you're a transphobe if you don't want to have sex. If a transsexual person.
Thank you. That's where I was going next.
If they make an advance on you and you're not into it because they're trans, suddenly you're a homophobe. Mm-hmm. No, you're just not attracted sexually.
Or a transphobe, yeah.
Yeah, transphobe. That's what I meant to say. You're just not sexually attracted to a transsexual person.
Mm-hmm. And I've had people. I've discussed this with people, and I've always brought the argument back that. So if I make an advancement on you, mm-hmm. and you say no, that doesn't mean that you're a homophobe.
No.
If I make an advancement on a woman, that doesn't mean that she's gay. She's just not interested.
Yeah.
You know, you're not a bigot because you don't agree. It's not even whether you agree or disagree with something. It's you said it perfectly. I'm just not interested. You know, that's not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you're a fucking monster. You know.
Absolutely.
I'm not out. I'm not walking around downtown with a fucking sign saying, you know.
It's crazy that there are people within the LGBTQ plus community that don't even understand their own lingo.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they call someone transphobic, homophobic, all that stuff, or bigots simply because they are attracted to somebody and that person is not attracted to them.
Or they just have a different perspective.
And they get turned down. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, it's I don't know.
The point that I've tried to make here recently, especially with, you know, all these presidential candidates announcing their candidacy and blah, blah, blah,
Lord
blah, blah.
Vermin Supreme's announced, too.
What's that?
Lord Vermin Supreme.
Vermin Supreme's fucking
he's
rolling
2020.
again? Hell yeah!
2020. He's been running since, like, what, 96?
There was a couple years that he didn't run.
Okay.
But he's definitely got my vote. I'm all about Lord Vermin Supreme. If you're not familiar with Vermin Supreme, I strongly urge you to do your research and allow yourself to become awoken, like Blaine and I. Truly transcend what it means to be a human being and vote Vermin Supreme. Clint Chase, if you're still watching, let's get some Vermin Supreme, Lord Vermin Supreme love in that chat. But, like, you just see, you know, everything is politics, you know, whether we want it to be or not, and it's unfortunate. But there's a few candidates like Buddy Egg, who I watched a thing the other day of him talking about a luncheon that he had with Reverend Al Sharpton, which is one of the most deplorable human beings in the history of human beings.
Yes. If
you do some research on him, and not just the fact that he's a black rights activist, he's scum. You know, Al Sharpton is fucking scum. But it's hard. It's kind of hard to articulate. Every unique group of people hates another unique group of people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we focus on, but we don't focus on groups working together and the idea that we don't have to have these groups. Just focus on fucking being human beings and just leave each other the fuck alone.
Yep.
You know, I want a presidential candidate to come out and say, just be who you want to fucking be. I don't give a shit.
Not like just, I support this group. I support this group. No, it's just
it's very frustrating for me when you see any politician say, you know, I'm pro black rights. Why don't we just be pro human rights and then we don't have to worry about it?
To counter that, those groups will crucify someone if they don't say that they're pro
Yes.
that. There's a divide on both ends.
It's also a political strategy.
Yeah,
we've talked about this before on the show, where like in the primaries, essentially, the presidential candidates will, if you look at like conservatism versus like being a liberal on a spectrum, like those candidates will go to the extreme side of their respected beliefs to get nominated by their party. And then
they'll try and get constituents wherever they can.
And then once they get that like nomination, they work in towards the middle of the spectrum. So I mean, it's a political strategy they use, but at this point, there's so many groups,
right,
that there's no way to please everybody. I mean, you're not able to do that anyway.
I mean, but I think if you really dumb it down and simplify it, though, you could. If you just don't, like, especially in politics right now, part of the issue is, you know, a lot of like socio-political fucking professionals, scientists. I don't really want to call them scientists because it's not science, but you know, they highlight how we're almost becoming a tribal society again, which life in a nutshell would be better if we were a tribal or small community-based society, but we're not. But like, that's just, it's like, it's hard to articulate, because no matter how you try and make an argument against it, someone's going to crucify you, you know. If we would just stop allowing politicians to fucking manipulate us, we're not any different at all.
It's true.
You know, we're just fucking human beings, man. I don't give a shit what you do in your house.
Thank you.
I might give a shit about some of the stuff that you do on the street, but I don't fucking care, man. Your life doesn't affect mine.
There's a lot more I do in here than out there.
I know. And that's, you don't do very much in here either. So that says a lot.
Yeah, you're right.
But it's just, it's frustrating, you know, because somebody coming from the standpoint of somebody who wanted to be a politician at one time and took a lot of interest and tried to educate myself on politics, and you know, I think I've done a pretty good job the last couple years of being fluid and open-minded and allowing some viewpoints to change. You know, there's things that I'm very conservative on, and most of the other shit that I don't give a shit. You know, like wealth disparity in America. I don't want to go to work. If a politician came out tomorrow and said, "Hey man, you don't have to go to work anymore. I'll pay you to not go to work," sign me the fuck up. I want to do fun shit. I don't want to go to work. Will society work that way? It's kind of proven that it doesn't. You know, we haven't seen all the you know, not everybody's got the answers. So if somebody comes out with the right business model where it'll fucking work, yeah, sign me up. You don't want to go to work either. Neither one of you do.
No.
If I could fucking sit in my living room and play with my kid, and then when she gets put down for a nap, fucking just rip like a 4-foot tall fucking gravity bong and play video games for like 4 hours, yeah, sign me the fuck up.
Yeah, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
It's a pretty fun time.
Yeah. I miss it.
Pretty cut and dry. Like, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Like, I like to travel, you know. Let's
not get too far ahead of ourselves here.
What's funny is
I just want to stay home. I don't want to go to work.
This kind of relates back to what we were talking about on like our pre-show conversation about the cortisol levels and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, we're talking about how we're at an all-time low for testosterone levels and everything like that, and we're stressed out. And it's like, why are we stressed out? Because we have all this, you know, political influence. and then all this
every
other
time
stressors from work related.
Every time you look at any electronic screen, you are being influenced. You are being manipulated. Whether it's politically, whether it's You're
also absorbing a lot of blue light, which is not good for you.
Speaking of light, we look very red.
Do I need to change that? I adjusted it a little bit ago.
I'm just happy I look tan.
I think you need to tone it down just a touch.
I'm finally not white.
Because I feel like our skin color is the same color as your red door.
Happens,
but yeah, it's just I think where our society's at right now, I think especially our generation of people can kind of acknowledge the fact that we don't have a mental illness epidemic. I think we just need to realize that every living human being has a mental illness in some capacity. And it's sad that that's normalcy or the standard, but I don't know anyone in my personal life that doesn't have anxiety in some.
Well, is that because of they have a mental illness, or is that because of the outside, stressors coming into them that's making them not know? Like, I don't know how to handle half of this shit.
I was being very broad, but
No.
you definitely honed it in there and made it make more sense. But my good friend, or one of my good friends, him and I used to go places. Like, I would run into him at the grocery store, and I would see how fucking stressed out he was, and it was after I had figured out what causes my anxiety and what things trigger it and why I have anxiety and all kinds of shit like that. And one day, I was hanging out with him, and I was like, why are you getting so aggravated? And it was like, it wasn't just like annoyed, it was like being combative. And I was like, you need to go to the doctor and you need to talk to them about your anxiety. And he ignored me for a couple years, and finally he went and he's like, yeah, dude, you were totally right the whole time. I'm on medication now, and I don't have any of that shit now. Nothing in my life has changed other than the medication. And I don't think that's totally right. I think we could all agree that we need to focus on the things that are affecting our life and less on prescribing ourselves shit to cope with life.
I think we need to use things more as a supplement instead of a replacement.
Yes. Preach it, brother.
So,
preach it.
You do that with nutrition. What are they called? They're called supplements.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you take protein after you work out. They're to help build upon what you're already doing. Those changes that you make. So we need to look at that with pharmaceuticals, I think, as well.
Everyone should know, it goes back to what I was saying with blood panels and shit like that. Everyone should know their excesses and their deficiencies. If you have an excess of cortisol and a testosterone deficiency, let's tackle that. Mm-hmm. If you have a fucking dopamine deficiency, for whatever reason, let's see if we can pump those numbers up. Let's get some fucking
those rookie numbers.
Let's get some fucking some happy birds and some smiley face clouds. Let's get that shit better.
Yeah.
And I've talked about it before in the past. With racial and gender inequality and pretty much every major issue that we have in America right now. If we had just a little bit better of education than we do, and Matt and I have talked about this at length. If we just had a little bit better of an education, all of the major issues that we have could be solved literally just from education.
I believe that.
I
wholeheartedly, I believe that.
And whoever's going to hate me for saying this, go ahead and hate me. I love the state of Alabama. I hate their politicians right now.
Yeah.
Because Alabama is a beautiful state full of good people.
Yeah.
And what their politicians have recently done does not reflect 90% of the people that live in that state.
What that reflects is a bunch of career politicians.
Thank you.
Who've been in there for too long and do not understand the wants and needs of the people that they represent.
Well, and I think we also need to highlight that it points out a deficiency in us. We have allowed those politicians to continue to be where they're at.
Yeah.
So is it our fault that what's going on in Alabama and through a lot of the U.S. right now is going on with the abortion shit? Partially, for sure. Is it our fault that human beings are inherently fucking cruel, just fucked up critters? No, that's not our fault. But we need to take what's going on in Alabama a couple different ways. It does not represent the people that are there, because not everyone that lives in Alabama or the South, especially the Gulf Coast of the United States, is a fucking hillbilly. Not everyone's a hillbilly. Not everybody's fucking their mom and their dad and their brother and their sister. That's not what it is.
Makes for great memes, though.
And great porn, too. But
bring it home.
Oh my god.
I have family that lives in Alabama.
I have family that goes to Alabama every year.
I go to
Snowbirds,
I go to Alabama pretty regularly. I really, really like that place.
It's been a long ass time since I've been to Alabama.
It's there's so much to do, and the fucking weather's incredible, and the education is not very good, and you know that's one of the reasons why.
But is it good anywhere in public schools?
Texas.
Like, is that a public school thing? Like, I mean,
the school that my sister graduated from is the #1 school in the nation in public education.
Okay.
And athletics.
So they're just rocking it all.
But it's also in the city of Houston, which has been the fastest growing city in the U.S. for over a decade.
Yeah.
Where every major corporation is headquartered out of now.
No state taxes.
No state income tax.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
That's a big one. When you don't have any state income tax, it gives a lot of incentives to live there.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't
Seattle have that too now?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. But
state of Illinois is about to raise their minimum wage up to $15 an hour, actually.
Man, let's see what happens. I'm really interested to see what happens with that.
Oh.
If it works, great. I don't necessarily want to see it fail, because I obviously I don't want anyone to be in poverty. You know, I'm poor right now. Blaine and I had a whole conversation about being poor right before the show started. You and I have talked about it. You know, I went from being rich in our community to being poor in fucking a couple months, and I'm a lot happier poor than I was when I had a lot of money. That doesn't mean that I don't want all my money back. I think that, you know, I'm going to school and I'm working to learn a craft and a trade and be able to contribute to society. And I think that the wage that I'm going to be paid, not only will I have negotiated, but I will have earned it based on my education and, you know, my ability to work and my quality of work. Should everyone just get, you know, $30 an hour? No. But there's what I'm trying to point out is there's a fucking happy medium in there somewhere, and we need to find it.
I think 15 is a bit much. We've talked about this so much, so I won't go into it. But I mean, I don't want to see it fail. But
I don't either.
But then there's a part of me that's like going, I don't want to see it really succeed, and that becomes a nationwide thing, because I feel like once it goes like to a nationwide thing, or more states pick it up, that's when we'll see more of the impact on cost of living expenses. Like, I don't want to pay $8 for a gallon of milk, man. I really don't want to do that. But
well, we already spend too much on a gallon of milk.
So, like, that's part of me is just wishing that we would just not have the big United States anymore. We'd all just go to separate countries. Essentially what the states are anyway.
Well, let's fucking just get hard about that. I think that the federal government should. Here's where I'm at in my socio-political mind in 2019, approaching 2020. I think that we should go back in time to when the Civil War was about to happen. not in slavery and fucking oppression and all that bullshit, politically, when a group of states said, we don't want you to have more power. And if you're going to have more power to tell us what to do, we're going to tell you to fuck off.
That's a misconception. Is everybody thinks Civil War was fought over slavery.
Because people were uneducated.
Yeah, it was fought over state rights.
Yeah. So, should we have a nationwide currency? Absolutely. Having a different currency for every state, that's dumb. That's pretty dumb. I think that currency should all be digital. I think we should go to totally digital currency.
I don't see why it won't happen in the future.
It should either be totally digital or it should be all barter. Nothing in between. The cotton fucking dollar that we have now is pretty stupid. And it's pretty worthless, realistically. I've had this argument with people. I believe the dollar bill holds no value. Physically, if I pull it,
paper.
If I pull a dollar bill out of my pocket right now, it has no value. Economically, it does hold value. It holds value because it's representing the gross taxes that are paid in the United States of America. That's the value of the dollar. The amount of the tax revenue that you have. That's the true value of the dollar bill. That's the true value of any nation's currency. The people paying its taxes. That's what dictates what the value of the dollar bill is. It's just fucking paper, man.
It's valued by word. Mm-hmm. Really. And we need to go back to just a gold standard. Gold is a precious metal.
Man,
we also need to get rid of guns, swords.
I'm a big fan of that. I don't want weapons removed.
Well, no,
as long as I can have swords
weapons,
and axes,
yeah, absolutely.
Sign me up.
They're just so uncivilized.
Yes.
Who cares?
Thank you for the Star Wars reference. I picked it up.
I'm glad you got that.
You son of a bitch.
I got it too.
You didn't
fucking
reference. You didn't recognize it. You didn't witness my man over here.
You were too busy recognizing it. Okay.
I was witnessing.
You better recognize it.
I mean, this motherfucker stood up on the couch like Tom Cruise with a can of chrome fucking spray paint, spray painted his teeth, and yelled, "Witness me!" And you just went. Eh.
I did not.
On a side note, I've watched Solo probably 10 times in the last couple days because my daughter loves Chewbacca. My daughter's got a fucking hard-on for Star Wars right now.
Awesome.
So, yes, R.I.P. Thank you.
R.I.P. Chewbacca.
So that's been really enjoyable for me. I've watched Solo 10 times, and God, that movie is underrated.
It is.
I still haven't seen it.
It's so good. I mean, okay, let me rephrase that. I'm a little bit biased because I'm watching it with my kid, and my kid's loving it. And, I've watched it so many times. I've seen all the little tidbits that I didn't notice the first couple times I watched it. It's so underappreciated. It's way better than literally everyone said.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Nick Maxon does a better job of articulating that than I ever will.
I mean, you've been with me since we watched Solo.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've been a fan of it.
Yeah, we both have.
We've all been a fan of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just people. Okay, so this is a great subject because we're in a time where we're in a renaissance of nerddom. There are so many, and I'm taking all of this from Brandon Stone right now. He's been talking about it for like the last week.
Okay. This was my next topic, by the way.
Awesome. And, he even made a post about this.
This was my rant.
Awesome.
So let it flow, my man.
So Brandon says, and I'm not directly quoting him. This is just a paraphrase.
You're paraphrasing.
We're in a renaissance of nerddom. We have so many amazing things out right now. So many amazing things and content and all
at
these
our fingertips.
At our fingertips. Yes, exactly. That's what I was getting to. And like we have all these Star Wars. We're getting a Star Wars movie every other year now, starting in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
right now it's been every year.
Well, for up until now, yeah.
2021 will be every other year.
Yeah.
They're taking between Rise of Skywalker and then the next movie will be a 1-year hiatus.
Are they starting a new trilogy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We just had 10 years of fucking MCU that culminated in Endgame that was just incredible. We've had 10 years of Game of Thrones that just ended. All of this. Yet nerds are the biggest fans and biggest haters of anything.
Biggest fans, harshest critics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have all of this all this amazing content, because no matter how much you hate on it, it is still incredible.
Well, and I think part of the reason for fans like you and Matt and myself and Brandon and Nate and a lot of people, you know, I was a popular guy. You know, I was an athlete, and then I wasn't a preppy dude, but I was friends with everybody. You know, I was always in the spotlight, or at least tried to be. My nerd culture shit that I was into, my comic book fucking collection, and the amount of time that I spent playing video games, and, you know, I hid that shit. Now it's okay.
Thank you. That was going to be my next point.
Now it's okay
supporting this,
and
now it's the cool thing to be into the superhero.
And
shit.
now you've got all these people that are, and I'm excluding the younger generation of people. I'm strictly pointing out the millennials here.
Okay.
As much as I hate to use that term, because
we are what we are, man.
We are, yeah, but it's a fucking dumb descriptor. The whole generation.
Some people don't think it'd be like that, but it do.
Sometimes it really do. You know, much like everything else, we're caught in the middle between generations. We're the transitional generation between what was and what is going to be.
Yeah.
And we were right on the cusp of, you know, I follow a lot of like retro 90s pages. And I see all this cool shit that I loved from the 90s, and it's like, man, so much of that stuff that I loved, I had to keep to myself because people didn't think it was cool. You know, and that's like, mentally that fucks with you, that you have to hide shit that you enjoy from other people. And now it's fucking 2019, and it's the cool thing. Being a nerd is the cool thing, and that's awesome. But you've got all these other people that are like, well, I want to be into the cool thing too. Motherfucker, I've been a part of the cool shit since I was a fucking kid. You can take a back seat, because this is about me. And that's where our generation of people are at. And it fits along with everything else, that it's got to be about me. The season finale of Game of Thrones is not about the story that the directors wanted to write. It's the fucking story that I deserved. And I didn't get that.
It's funny you bring that up. I went and saw Detective Pikachu last weekend.
How was that?
I really enjoyed it.
Everybody's pretty much really enjoyed it.
We're going to take Ruby to see it.
Like, I really enjoyed it. It's fairly, straightforward, and you can see like their plot twists and stuff coming. But
it's a fucking Pokemon movie.
It's a kids movie,
right?
Yeah.
But like, it's funny that you're talking about like the Game of Thrones. I know I haven't seen it. I don't know anything about it.
You're going to.
I'm
going
to. But like, I just know that everybody's just kind of like, what? Like, I heard they kind of Sopranos did.
No.
That's just what I heard on
I would say more Breaking Bad at it.
No,
but not even really that.
Don't even. Okay.
Breaking Bad was okay.
1 second. Time out. You can't say anything about Breaking Bad because you didn't watch it.
I have seen the finale.
You loathe it.
I have seen the finale.
The finale was fantastic. It was what it needed to be.
They Dextered it.
There you go. There you go.
The season finale of season 8 of Game of Thrones, a decade worth of material, pretty much. They Dextered it.
I haven't seen Dexter.
So let me summarize the end of Dexter for you, if you don't mind.
This is the third time it's been summarized for me in a week.
So the main character of 8 seasons of show takes his dead sister on a boat immediately after leaving his child with a known serial killer, drives it into a hurricane, and then becomes a lumberjack. That's the end
That's the most cut and dry I've heard it so far.
of 8 years of material.
Wow.
That's what Game of Thrones did.
Okay. Weird. But anyway, so like, you know, there's a lot of people, like you say, you know, this is the story I deserve.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm walking out of Detective Pikachu, we're hearing people go, "Oh, it was okay. It wasn't that great." And it's like, what do you mean it wasn't that great? Like, if I was a kid, or like when I was a kid, and this fucking came out. Like, I was blown away by Pokemon, the first movie.
Oh, fuck
yeah.
Which they're redoing.
They're redoing
they're
and animated it.
Yeah, they're reanimating.
Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution, dude.
Yeah.
It's Japanese only. Looks incredible still. I'll probably watch it on the internet.
Japanese only?
From what I understand.
I still watch Pokemon the first movie every now and then.
I'll
Just
watch,
to get that fucking nostalgia.
Those first three. Even the Celebi movie's okay. And then there's a couple later ones that Pokemon's come out with. Like the Rise of Darkrai's pretty cool.
I haven't seen that one.
That one's sweet. Arceus and the Jew. I don't know if you remember that one.
No. Do you know this story, Tyler? So I'm sitting there scrolling through like Netflix. This is like 2010, 2011, somewhere around there. And like I come across Pokemon, Arceus and the Jew, and it's like the text just got cut up. It's supposed to be like Arceus and the Jewel.
The Jewel of Life or something like that.
Yeah, it says Arceus and the Jew, and of course I took
Which
a
is
picture
great because Arceus represents the Christianity God. It's so funny. But anyway, the people
go ahead.
They're just saying like, oh yeah, it's not that great. But it's like, what do you expect? It's not a Marvel movie, first off. Like, it's not Endgame.
Well, could you...
It's not even like Infinity War. I just feel like a nerd culture expects so much from movies now.
Let me ask you this. Could you guys imagine if, you know, with the MCU and Game of Thrones and, you know, like Detective Pikachu and as successful as the Deadpool movies have been, could you imagine if we had this when we were kids?
I fucking lose my mind.
Yeah, I mean, we were the generation of kids that got to grow up watching Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the original fucking Kanto series.
Indigo League, dude.
Yeah.
Indigo Plateau.
I started watching I Choose You, the Pokemon movie, last night, and it's still telling the original story, but it's
okay.
It's mixing in a ton of other stuff.
Like
I can't wait to sit down with Ruby when she gets a little older.
Yeah, I'm
to
about
watch the
halfway
original
through it.
series.
Yeah,
you know, to watch the original series, you know, do like an episode a day, because, you know, they're only like 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
Do an episode a day, and at the end of that, be like, here's this movie that I loved when I was a kid. I remember going to the theater. The first 3 Pokemon movies, I saw them in the theater.
Same.
Yeah, same.
And for Pokemon the first movie, I still have my original soundtrack. I damn near fucking burnt that CD up. Because that CD was a fucking banger of a soundtrack.
You remember the gold cards they released at Burger King?
I've still got them.
I lost mine in the flood a long time ago,
gold
dude.
plated.
Still got them.
Like, use those episodes as teaching moments to go, now what did he do wrong this time in this battle? Gary Oak is not as good as we remember. Trust me.
No.
I rewatched the series. And
I rewatched it a couple
What
times.
the fuck ever, Matt?
Dude, he pulls out an Arcanine against a
the
Kingler.
fucking loser that Gary motherfucking Oak talks about. You.
Blaine, I will destroy you, Pokemon.
Obviously.
But
I'm not competitive.
I just think that, like, as a nerd culture, like, with the Marvel movies and, like, as the culture has kind of grown into more of a pop culture thing, we've expected so much. Like, a couple years ago, we had a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie. I loved it.
I've heard that from a lot of people.
It was decent.
I still haven't had a chance
Like,
to watch it.
they focus a lot on, like, hey, these kids aren't actually, like, the popular kids in school. Like, they've got problems. So I had a fun time with the Power Rangers movie. And I'm really hoping they get a second one.
Yeah, because then they'll actually be Power Rangers in that.
Yeah,
movie.
exactly. There was not a lot of
There was a
Power
lot
Rangers.
of build up to
Yeah,
it.
it was build up and it was fun. I enjoyed it. The Detective Pikachu movie, there's no way there can be a sequel. I'll just say that. But if they somehow did a sequel, I'd be all for it. Like, if they did this into a franchise, Ryan Reynolds is great. The story, easy. but still enjoyable, even though you know what's going to happen more than likely.
But like I said earlier, it's a Pokemon movie.
Yeah, like
it's not supposed to be fucking Sixth Sense.
It's kind of like it's mainly a visual thing. Like I'm finally getting to see these things live.
Like you would see them if they were really
I'm not spoiling anything because you've seen it in the trailer. Mewtwo's in the movie. Mm-hmm. When you first see Mewtwo, you're like, holy shit! Like,
is Mew in the movie?
No, I wish.
Now,
I really
don't know.
wish.
I don't know if you're gonna want to spoil this or not. But is Mewtwo like a plot device, or is he just in this movie?
Major plot device?
Okay, so he
like,
is
major, and they explain why he's in this region instead of in Kanto.
What region is this?
It's like a new one. Like, it's not even like a region. It's literally just pretty much a town.
Oh, really?
It's like Roll City or Rim City or something like that.
Okay.
And like it's a town about where like Pokemon and humans live side by side. So basically, it's kind of like.
So it's not like Pokemon.
It's like Pokemon Black and White. If Team Galactic would have won, or Team Plasma would have won. Is it Team Plasma or no? It's Team Galactic.
No, it's Team Plasma.
Plasma was Generation 4. Generation 5 is Team Galactic.
I didn't play either of those. I quit at
Black and
Silver,
White was good.
Or I quit at Crystal.
Black and White too.
But anyway, like the evil team in the 5th generation was like, hey, we're gonna free Pokemon from their human masters.
So it's not trainers in Pokemon. It's just people in Pokemon.
Yeah, but there's still people that have partner Pokemons.
Pokemans, the Pocket Demons,
the Pokemons. No, super good movie. It's really enjoyable. I took my nephew to go see it. He's 15 and he liked it.
Cool.
But I'd go see it again in a heartbeat.
Are you ready for me, Blaine?
Hold on, I'm looking up is Diamond and Pearl.
And Team Plasma or Galactic?
Galactic.
Well, then it's Team Plasma. Then I mixed them up. My bad.
I was gonna say I didn't play Diamond and Pearl, so I played Black and White though.
I've touched them all a little bit.
They've touched you
a little bit.
A little bit too. Yeah. A lot of good movies coming out recently. I'm pretty excited.
So, I texted you the other night after the season finale of, or actually I put it in our network head group chat that I would not be attending Game of King Chairs this Thursday.
Nice plug.
Every Thursday about 5:30 or 6.
I'm trying to be extra cringy this episode.
You're doing a hell of a job.
I'm just in a sassy mood today.
You are very sassy.
Thank you.
Feeling extra
sassy. Baxter's being fucking sassy over here.
It's like, dude, I'm fucking asleep. What the fuck?
Fucking belly's hanging out.
It looks like me on the couch.
Yeah, that's what I look like. Oh yeah, get that big yawn. Get that fucking feline yawn. Yeah, get the scratchings. Behind the ear scratchings. Fuck yeah. Spread it. All right, now bite him. Because that's what you're going to do. You're going to show me your asshole, and then you're going to bite him. But
someone just tuned in and said, you're going to show me your asshole.
That was me talking to Blaine, not to Baxter. But, so I messaged our network head group chat immediately following, like, literally seconds after the series had ended. And I said, in good conscience, I will not be attending Game of King Chairs this upcoming Thursday, which I had committed to, because I will ruin it. Because I am the unpopular opinion guy. That's already strong enough. But I did not. It was not good. And cinematically, it wasn't good. Story, plot-wise, it was not good. There were scenes in this finale that were shot very well and were very good. The majority was not. We had yet another water bottle, not a coffee cup. Okay?
Yeah, we did.
So that kind of, from the coffee cup to the water bottle, which in my mind really aren't that big of a deal. It happens. Every movie's got to have something like that. But the editors catch it and get it out of there. This goes to show that at least some of what the fans are complaining about is justified.
Yeah.
Because this season was rushed. So the directors could go do Star Wars.
Is that confirmed?
What else more do you need, Blaine?
I mean, I'm not denying it, but I also want to make sure it's true before I say it myself.
So HBO offered them their entire budget. Their entire budget to continue to do Game of Thrones. They were not going to launch any more new shows as long as Game of Thrones was going to keep pumping out seasons. The directors, D&D, told them that to do the story that they really wanted to do, it would take them 10 seasons of 10 episodes, and HBO immediately responded with, "You've got it." And they retorted with, we're gonna do one more season, and then we'll wrap it up in that one season. It's right after they agreed to do Star Wars, man. So, you know, whether there's validity to it or not, until I hear otherwise, that's how I'm going to justify it.
Without going into spoilers, I was just amazed by the finale up until the first cut to black. And then from there on, I was like, I almost felt like it should have been 2 episodes. And the first episode should have been longer and more drawn out, and
or maybe the third episode a little bit longer. Well, I was saying episode 3 of the season, maybe a little bit more longer and drawn out.
Possibly, I was fine with episode.
There's no
3.
reason this season shouldn't have been 10 episodes, like the majority of the fucking 8 seasons.
You're right.
Give us fucking 10 hours of material. Not 6 hour-and-a-half fucking episodes that aren't even an hour and a half.
Yeah, because you got the pre-show, like, we're going to advertise this stuff, and then you got the
credits and the
credits and then the showrunners.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z!
And then you got the showrunners discussing the episode.
Yeah. So
which we didn't get in this episode.
Which I was a little bit disappointed in. But I imagine we'll get that in the documentary coming out at the end of this month.
I was joking around, and I'll say this again later this week on Game of King Chair, but I was joking with Miranda because before the episode we got the showcase of shows coming this fall or soon. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I see what they're doing here. They're showing you all the shows that you could be watching if you don't cancel your subscription after Game of Thrones.
They're doing
and they went hard on it after the episode.
They're doing an adaptation of a book series that I loved when I was a kid. His Dark Materials.
That looks really good. However, it has your favorite actor, McAvoy.
He's not my... You act like I fucking loathe James McAvoy.
I thought you were going to say Bryan Cranston.
I just don't love him. I like McAvoy in a lot of stuff. I don't.
You did like him in Split.
I don't like him as Professor X.
Okay.
So I mean, that doesn't mean I need to be crucified for it. But
McAvoy is a treasure.
This is Game of Thrones ending the way that it did with such a lackluster season in comparison to the majority of the other seasons. It highlights what we talked about earlier with nerddom and our generation wanting the story that in our minds we deserve and blah, 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 blah. That finale was rough enough for a multitude of reasons, and I'm trying to stay spoiler-free.
Dude, I'll forget, so I don't even care.
Well, just for our audience in general. Because we'll dive into the spoilers on Game of King Chair Thursday.
This was pretty much the directors just saying, we don't fucking care that you guys like this show. Because as a one-time aspiring and semi-successful writer, you don't write a plot like that. Ever. You just don't. And in the fucking, some of the script and dialogue was like fucking high school drama production. It was awful. Master of Ships here. Master of Coin.
I like that.
High Maester.
I like that.
It was dumb. And
It was
awful.
just fan service. That whole episode was nothing but fan service.
No, it was not.
It was fan service.
No.
Tiny little fan service moments.
No.
All over it.
This is why I can't be on Thursday. There is maybe 3.
No one's gonna agree with me.
No. There is maybe 3 things in that episode that were fan service. You can ask anyone else other than me that does not outwardly scream from the rooftops that they loved the season finale, and tell them that you think that show was fan service, and you will get an identical response. It was just not good.
It was mildly okay.
It was awful.
Can you name a show where the series finales lived up to expectations?
Spartacus.
Okay, I've never watched it.
Never watched it. No.
But
You guys are doing yourself a disservice by not watching the entire season or entire series.
you mentioned Breaking Bad earlier, and
I really enjoyed the ending.
to me, I thought it was a disappointing ending, and I
To me,
know
it
a
was a
lot of
justified
people.
ending.
I saw where like
It
they
made
had
sense.
they had things leading up, and it all made sense, but it was still disappointing to me, in my opinion.
I really like The Sopranos.
Parks and Rec was another big show I loved.
Mm-hmm.
Series finale.
Way better than The Office. Thank you.
I mean, it's enjoyable, but like the series finale for Parks and Rec, I thought was awful.
It was awful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was not good. The series finale for The Office is really good.
That 70s show.
That one was awful.
That last season was just bad.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I really enjoyed the last episode, but it was one of those, instead of we're going to create actual content, we're just going to look back on previous episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And then they threw in Topher Grace at the very end.
Yeah.
Friends was another one.
Oh, man. Friends was an interesting one. That was in 2004.
Mm-hmm.
And
I just hate Ross and Rachel so much.
Me too.
They're all just bad people.
Part of the reason that I hated how Friends ended so much is because
it spawned Joey.
That's a good point.
yes, but also Joey is the only character in the show that loved Rachel from the beginning to the end, and he's the only one that never tried to change her. And Joey fucking deserved to be with Rachel and not fucking Ross.
Ross is just all
Ross
of them are bad
is a douche.
people.
I'm ready for you to just break out into like fucking tears over
All
this
of them,
right now.
all of them are bad people.
Well, Phoebe's a pretty good person.
She's
good.
just psychotic.
Man, I would
Doesn't
fuck
make-
Phoebe so
Doesn't
hard.
make
Yeah.
her a bad person, but
I love listening to like Matthew LeBlanc in the interviews, and they're like, "All right, would you have, Rachel or Monica?" And he's like, "Oh no, I guess I get me that Phoebe action." It's like, you're the smart man.
Paul Rudd was in it, which was
Yeah.
great towards the end.
Yeah.
Yep.
How
Well, I
I Met
can't-
Your Mother is another one that a lot of people are drawing parallels between Game of Thrones.
I love that ending.
But I can't think of really
See,
a
I'm
show.
one of the few people that did too. I was okay with it.
I was a giant How I Met Your Mother fan, and I thought it was that ending. It fit, and because the story wasn't about the mother.
No, it was
It
about
was about Robin and
yeah.
Ted.
It was always about Robin and Ted. Always.
It always came down to it,
Mm-hmm.
and he got his time with his mother, or his
back to
to that.
incest porn.
Yep, that's exactly
Let's
what I
back
was
it
going
up
to
a
say.
bit. He got his time with the mother, the mother of the children. The children.
That kid from Wizards of Waverly Place.
Yeah.
So for them to go 8 seasons of that and having to film, and they filmed the final scenes in the very beginning, like when the kids were still the kids. They shot all that stuff in the very beginning so that the kids didn't age, and it was still like they were telling the story like that on that day. And so they had an ending right from the beginning. And kudos to those kids for not saying a fucking word the entire time, because that's close to 10 years of...
The only show that I can think of there I was really satisfied with the series finale is Futurama.
Me too.
To me, I think that is... I love The Office series finale too, but I know you don't like The Office.
Parks and Rec is just a better show. The Office isn't funny.
I like The Office more than Parks and Rec, but not by much. It's a very tight contest. To me, they're different humors.
Literally, the only time that I was made to laugh while watching The Office is when what's his name dropped the chili. That's the only. That is literally the only moment in that show that made me laugh. What
about Jericho? Do you remember Jericho?
Yeah, that's a rough one.
The show itself was rough. It had some really cool stuff.
I really liked that show.
Yeah,
but I remember shows like Rescue Me. Mm-hmm. That show ended very well. Nip Tuck ended very well.
Sons of Anarchy.
Everybody,
that's a divisive one. A lot of people are pissed about that.
Sons of Anarchy ended exactly how it needed to end.
Exactly.
Yeah. I haven't even watched the series, but I've seen the finale, and I was like, that was super cool.
Okay, so here's the what I was eventually going to get to. As much as I disagree with what our generation is doing with, complaining about Game of Thrones and complaining about Star Wars and complaining about everything, I'm going to play devil's advocate and say some of it is justified. I have spent almost a decade of my life making you money, HBO and Game of Thrones. I made you money. And you give me that? It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable.
You can draw a parallel of that to the video game industry right now.
Thank you. I am putting food in you, your wife, your husband, your children's fucking mouths, and you're going to give me that? It's not okay. It's not. If I had a hot dog cart and you walked up to my hot dog cart and said, "Hey, Mr. Tyler, I would like a hot dog." And I said, "That'll be $10 for this delicious hot dog."
That better be a fucking delicious hot dog.
Oh, it better be a delicious hot dog. It better be. And I give you a bar-ass fucking hot dog that I fucking microwaved.
Not even microwaved. You just gave him the cold one.
And I gave you a cold bar-ass hot dog.
Was there at least relish?
No. There's no condiments.
What the fuck?
I'm giving you a hot dog, a cold fucking generic hot dog.
On a whole wheat bun.
No. Not whole wheat, white bread.
Oh, fuck.
I'm not even giving you a fucking Chicago-style bun. I'm giving you fucking Wonder Bread.
To be fair, if you're 5 years old, you don't give a shit.
No, but you're not 5 years old, Blaine.
You're your own goddamn
You're
age.
28.
I am 28.
And I said, that'll be $10. And I hand you your hot dog, and I'm like, give me my money. Give it.
But I don't want to give you the money. That's bullshit.
And you give it to me.
I give you the money.
And then you're like,
the fuck is this?
Wait a minute. What the fuck is this? And I say, I gave you the hot dog that you ordered, and then I fucking skedaddle. It's not okay. It's not. You didn't want a fucking bar-ass hot dog with white bread. You wanted it all beef frank with some fucking ketchup and some mustard and some relish, maybe some onion, maybe some sauerkraut, maybe some cheese.
Maybe some chili. Maybe you want to make
some
that
fucking
chili dog.
And not that Hormel shit out of the can. I'm talking fucking scratch-made chili dog chili.
Off of Possum's ass.
You wanted to be fucking Sonic the Hedgehog for a day and make a chili dog, okay? But I didn't give you that. I gave you a bar-ass hot dog on fucking Wonder Bread.
Is it sad that I forgot Sonic the Hedgehog loved chili dogs?
You fucking love chili dogs.
I don't remember. I don't know anything about
I remember that. As soon as you mentioned Sonic the Hedgehog, I was like, oh, you did.
Oh, I saw the trailer for that at the Detective Pikachu.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So, okay, so
yeah.
this is part of, this is relevant. So we're going to condemn our fucking society because we're fucking ungrateful nerddom fans because we complain when we get something that we get a hot dog that we didn't order. We got a subpar hot dog. But we cheer when we guilt fucking a movie studio into changing Sonic the Hedgehog into what we think Sonic the Hedgehog is supposed to look like. You cannot praise one and condemn the other. You are a hypocrite if you do.
I agree with that statement. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, you're right. I can in good conscience agree with that.
I appreciate that.
I think with like
Because I'm not saying that I'm right, but at least some of my issues, not even necessarily the last season, because if they would have ended the last season of Game of Thrones better, and I'm just talking mildly better, cold bar-ass hot dog with an actual bun, I would have totally accepted it and went quietly into that good night. But I'm not. I'm raging because I got fucking Wonder Bread and a bar-ass cold hot dog. Proceed, good sir.
I forgot.
Wonder Bread.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I had to.
No, you're good. I'll remember her in a bit.
Terrible hot dog choice.
Yes.
Because it just breaks.
Bar-ass hot dog. Terrible hot dog choice. They're awful. I eat nothing but all beef franks.
Good.
Because that's how a hot dog is supposed to be. It's supposed to be beef.
I'm a bratwurst fan.
Yeah, I love the fucking German sausages.
I don't like bratwurst. I had this conversation last week.
I like bratwurst with cheddar and shit,
no.
dude.
I like your American Eagle sandals.
Thank you. I've had them since I was in high school.
I had some, and they disappeared. I don't know what happened to them. My mommy got them for me.
I'm a leather flip-flop guy. They gotta be leather.
That's
I won't
how
wear them.
mine were. You know, my mom, we were going on spring break to Florida my senior year, and she just took my brothers and I, and she's like, we're going to get some shit for spring break.
We gonna get some shit.
Because, like, it'd been years since I've been to a beach. I didn't have any, or I thought we were going to a beach.
Can you imagine playing on a beach?
Back in high school, too, he was so skinny.
Yowie wowie.
It was bad.
People would have thought he was a seagull.
No, I hadn't been
a
to
starving
a beach
seagull.
to this day, I mean, I haven't been to a real, like, ocean beach since probably 2000. So that's sad.
It is.
It bums me out.
You need more beach life.
Actually, it might have been 2002, or either way. Either way. So
2002.
my mom, she
17 years,
took
not
my brothers and I to the mall, and we got the works.
Did you get a Master Cuts haircut?
Got me some sandals. Got me some Oakleys. My first pair of Oakleys.
Did you get a Master Cuts haircut?
I did not. I didn't start doing that until a couple years later. Justin, he's the one that got me into Master Cuts because there was a dude there that looked like Dane Cook. He talked like Dane Cook, and he was the only person that I knew that would actually give straight razor shaves. So
My mom just cut my hair.
he was really funny. And I
Was
watched,
it Dane Cook?
Was it
No,
actually Dane Cook?
it wasn't actually Dane Cook.
I don't think
do you
he's
know?
done much.
I
How
actually
do you
went.
know?
I actually went with Justin to one of his haircuts just because I was just with him at the mall and I had nothing to do, so I just went in there with him and he's like, "Yeah, this is the guy I was talking about." And I watched.
That's the guy.
I witnessed it and then I requested him the next
slow
time.
guy.
The gay.
I actually stopped him from getting lunch once because, like, the first time I had a haircut by him, actually the only time I had a haircut by him, and I was like, "Dude, I request that guy because I've seen him work. He's funny. I like him. I want him to cut my hair." And he's like, "Well, I'm about to go on lunch, but I mean, if you really want me," I'm like, "I really want you."
I want you inside me.
Handsome dude.
I mean,
It was Dane.
Handsome fella.
he was a swell guy.
So, I want everyone that's like me and like you and like Matt, give it your old college try. And if there's something that you just can't live with, then so be it. And the ending of Game of Thrones is something that I just, in good conscience, can't agree with.
I remember what I was going to fucking say now.
What's up?
So, what he was talking about is how, like, we have that level of expectation if we give you something with the hot dog and everything, blah, 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 blah.
Did you like my metaphor
I
with
did.
the hot dog?
I really did.
Thank you.
It made me hungry, though.
I'm always hungry.
Me too.
That's
But,
a secret cap.
Fat guy problems.
Baxter, you know what I'm talking about.
You know what I'm saying? But anyway, like, I think there's even though we have a certain level of expectation, there should be that. Because if there's not a certain level of expectation, we get things like Sonic the Hedgehog. Mm-hmm. And, you're saying, like, we guilted a movie studio into changing it, which we did.
Absolutely.
But they didn't have to change. To be fair, they didn't have to change the story of the movie. They didn't have to do any of that. They just had to edit the appearance.
No, and that's not really relevant to the thing. It's we had an expectation of what Sonic's supposed to look like when they announced the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, they have a source material. We bitch about, you know, comic book movies not using their source material ever.
Absolutely.
Like
Sometimes it's okay.
Yeah.
Because the plot and the writing is
Some
very
things
well
don't
done.
translate, you know?
Absolutely.
Like, you have to change things. I get that. Like, The Watchmen. The movie The Watchmen, a giant worm monster killing the planet is not as cool as Dr. Manhattan's energy being nuclear blasted. The movie version's way cooler than the comic book version.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, there's a certain level of expectations when, you know, things get announced. And I feel like it's a responsibility for studios, like publishers, anybody that's involved, to try and meet those expectations, if not exceed them. Or at least come close to it.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I've heard, not just from, you tonight, but just all over the internet, it's Game of Thrones series finale. And it's like,
and some people are complaining just to complain because everyone else is complaining. I mean, I think we all can acknowledge that.
Some people just complain to complain.
Right.
But, I mean, I just see a lot of memes of people going, wait, this was an option? Like, that's it. So, and I've heard this whole season has kind of been just a meme.
The memes have been rather crispy.
They've been very spicy.
So, is it something to do with kind of what you were saying, where did they rush it, or was it just a lack of them not giving a fuck?
Oh, it was certainly rushed. Like, they expedited a lot of shit that needed some extra handling.
So,
extra care.
I mean, I haven't seen it yet, so I can't put my input on that. But I'm thinking that a lot of, creators now, it's, I mentioned video games earlier. Anthem.
Oh.
By far the biggest fail in gaming this year, if not for the past 5 years. I don't know if No Man's Sky beats it out or what, but Anthem is dead. Like,
Anthem is...
There's talks about it going free to play right now.
Oh, wow.
If it goes free to play, people might actually play it then. But then you're still competing against Warframe at this point, too.
Which is a fantastic game.
Yeah.
Anthem is like the flip of Game of Thrones, where it was EA's fault.
Well,
never mind. I completely take that back.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm an idiot.
I just about
disregard.
smited you.
Redact.
That's what I mean, though. Like, we have expectations. Anthem got announced E3 2017, I think, and they have a demo that shows what it is, and it looks incredible. And
Destiny's another good example.
Yeah, people are all raging about Anthem. When Anthem drops, it's so buggy. The load screens are all there's so many issues with it, and it doesn't meet our expectations as gamers. Like fluidity, just all this sorts of stuff. And then, not to mention, plot-wise, which BioWare's supposed to be the place for
They're
stories.
supposed to be the guys.
Yeah. Like, now it seems like more, like Rockstar or Naughty Dog are who you go to for a story. But who knows if they can do a multiplayer game. Because the majority of theirs are solo player, maybe co-op.
You could argue that Rockstar's kind of figured the whole multiplayer game out with having
GTA
the highest selling video game of all time, for like over a decade at this point. But but I totally agree with what you're saying.
Like, there should be an expectation there, though, for fans, because otherwise, a game like if we don't crucify Anthem for coming out, then another one comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Like Destiny 2 got fucking ripped after the first 2 weeks. People are like, "Oh, it's amazing." Then 2 weeks go by, people are like, wait, I don't have fucking anything to do. And everything looks the same. It's useless.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not fun.
At least Destiny 1, there was a lot of shit to do. So, here's part of my spiel. Destiny 1, and I'm really glad you brought up video games, because it's the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Destiny 1, the story was pretty subpar.
It was subpar.
But you had a lot of shit to do.
But it was subpar, but they branched it out to where you were like, I see where these things can go.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got introduced to the Vault of Glass, which was the first raid in Destiny. And it got mentioned like you're going, what the fuck's the Vault of Glass? Like, I don't remember this in the story. And then you remember, oh wait, it was in one mission where they mention it. And you're like, all right, well, I'm going to explore this area. And they kept adding all this stuff, and like, and
it was all interconnected, and it was all relevant.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got to Destiny 2.
Oh god!
And the biggest complaint from Destiny was lack of story, because it's Bungie.
So they had a ton of story.
Bungie gave us fucking Halo, so they gave us, I think, a pretty well written, well paced story in Destiny 2, and you finished. And that's, that was that 2 weeks. Everybody fucking gangbanging the story so they could get to, strikes and prepping for the first raid and all that. And you finish the story and it's like, okay, what am I going to do now? I can collect tokens?
Yeah, you collect tokens to buy. Like, you go to vendors and you turn in these tokens and you get an RNG-based thing, reward system, where these vendors don't even sell anything. And you're like, wait, where's the economy in this game?
Mm-hmm. It was awful.
Yeah.
It was totally awful.
They totally regressed from, the end of Destiny 1 was incredible.
And here's part of the thing. I paid $100 for Destiny 1.
If not more, because of all the expansions.
I bought the original. I bought it on release day. I have the original Destiny 1, original PlayStation 4, the white one.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say that's how I got it.
I played through it by myself.
I got the bundle.
Well, you got it Destiny. You did the Destiny 2 one.
I did the Destiny 1 one as well.
You did?
And then I traded that one for the Destiny 2.
He really wanted me to get Destiny. Him and Justin really were like, yeah, you got to get Destiny. Once they got it, they fucking stopped playing.
Mm-hmm.
Asshole.
So
I played it for a month and a half.
Once I started
until like
once
3
I started
weeks.
playing on Xbox again, obviously I still have my PlayStation, but I didn't have anybody to play with. Mm-hmm. So I waited until all the expansions had come out, and then I bought Destiny 1, total DLC pack.
Ultimate Edition.
Whatever, for like $30. So I spent $100 on Destiny 1. Destiny 2 came out. I bought the fucking deluxe Ultimate Edition. I spent $100 on it. I was pissed because it didn't justify my $100 of cost. Mm-mm. I spent $80 on the Bicentennial Edition of Fallout 76.
Wow.
It's the fucking seagull meme. Because I want to fucking scream until my vocal cords rip.
Yeah.
For the record, I stopped playing. I mean, I was kind of burnt out by the time I stopped playing, but I stopped playing because I moved into the Doom room, and where I was, I had terrible connection with my PS4, so like I just couldn't play for like a while.
Doesn't justify you leaving me, but
sorry. No, that's why I stopped playing, because I just.
But I think with our expectations, it keeps some producers or publishers, whatever you want to call them, accountable.
Well, you have to justify our costs.
Yeah.
Blaine and I have talked about it since I started being a co-host on this podcast. Every time we review a movie, I open with the spiel. If I can justify the $10 I spend on a movie ticket and the $80 that I spend on concessions, then in my mind it's a good movie.
Yeah.
If I'm sitting in the movie and I'm thinking, why did I waste money on a ticket and concessions to sit in this fucking movie theater and not enjoy it?
That was me with Batman v Superman.
Oh, I liked Batman v Superman, but
I almost walked out of the theater twice.
I almost walked out of the theater during Endgame. So,
F&A Cotton.
But you have to justify our costs somehow.
Infinity War's better than Endgame. Fight
yes,
me.
I think we all agree on that.
Okay, good. When I first said that, I remember when I said that to whoever did, they were like looking at me like I was speaking blasphemy, and I was about to be burned at the stake, and I was like, it was a much better story.
So the fucking 8th season of Game of Thrones didn't even justify my $15 a month I pay for HBO Now.
It was quite a lackluster season.
The first 3 episodes were great.
They were.
They were great. The way episode 2 ended, while Podrick was fucking singing, Jenny of Old Stones. Oh, it's emotion and it's fucking power, and scene for scene, the cinematography is fantastic, and it's showing you nothing but raw emotion because it's relevant to the plot that has been written.
Yep.
And then immediately after that, you get episode 3, which crushed a lot of people, including me. It crushed me. And I still didn't crucify the show. Episode 4, awful. Episode 5, better than episode 4 for sure. Finale, on par with episode 4. That bad, in my mind. A lot of fans of fantasy and the works of Tolkien crucified the Hobbit trilogy.
Yeah.
Nick Maxon being one of them. Was it great? No. Was it good? I
enjoyed it.
I think it was good. I enjoyed it. Ruby and I
enjoyed it enough to get the extended editions of all of them. So
Ruby and I watched The Hobbit. Ruby came up to me the other day and she's like, "Daddy, what are you doing?" And I said, "Well, I'm getting ready to watch this movie called The Hobbit." I was just trying to kill time before the season finale of Game of Thrones. And Ruby sat down and watched Hobbit: The Unexpected Journey with me. The whole movie. Did not move. Was enthralled by it.
Good.
I loved it.
Incredible.
It's one of my favorite books.
Oh, yeah, I love The Hobbit. I did not like The Lord of the Rings.
It's dry.
It's very dry. Hobbit, excellent.
Mm-hmm.
I was glad I
Lord
got
of the Rings movies, though.
Oh, yeah.
Return of the King is still one of the best films, I think, that's
of all
ever
time.
been filmed.
I think you can argue that whole trilogy is, let's just say it's one movie, is one of the greatest films of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Because The Fellowship is fantastic. I mean, just the Mines of Moria sequence is incredible.
Yeah.
Everything that happens in the Two Towers, fucking the Battle of Helm's Deep, my man.
Yeah.
Fucking Gimli blowing on that horn and fucking Gandalf coming over the hill.
Gondor, too.
Oh!
That white tree, dog.
White tree!
But, poor Boromir.
Oh, man. Sean Bean. If it was
Poor
anyone
guy,
other than
dude.
Sean Bean, he would have survived.
But,
yeah, you're right.
But, so, and I'm sorry to interrupt
No,
you
you're
again,
good.
Matt. Here's part of
I'm going to pee
my spiel. Game of Thrones is done.
It is.
Now a lot of people are going to be looking for something to fill that void. And depending on the type of person you are, you're going to find something to fill that space.
I mean, to be fair, we've had a year and a half to 2 years since season 7, so we've kind of grown accustomed to filling that void. Like it's not anything new to us. Like we've definitely attempted to it during that time.
So here's the problem. Amazon has the Lord of the Rings TV show in production. Mm-hmm. If that doesn't come out of the gate and fucking fire on all cylinders, we'll lose it.
Yep.
And that's not okay. If The Mandalorian comes out of the gate and doesn't fire on all cylinders, we'll lose it. And that's not okay. If either of those shows produce anything relatively close to Season 8 of Game of Thrones, we will lose them. And people will not watch them. Because you can only burn us as a fan base so many times. And now all of us have been burnt. So, I didn't want Game of Thrones to end that way. And here's part of it too. There's 3 prequel series confirmed.
Mm-hmm. Are they all prequels or are they just
3 spin-offs is what I meant to say. Confirmed for Game of Thrones.
Or at least 3 pilots have been made.
I don't know if they've been made, but they've been confirmed.
The pilots have been made.
Okay.
3 pilots have been shot.
If one of them isn't Arya being a pirate west of Westeros, I'm going to be upset. But I'll still watch all of them. I'm looking for the Arya as a pirate, Ghost and Tormund doing cool stuff like Shaggy and Scooby-Doo, and I really don't care about the other one. So,
Ghost, come on, dude.
Yeah.
One of them has been, I guess whoever's doing it has straight up said, like, I don't think we should call it the Long Night. But another one has been said to, you should really read Fire and Blood.
Yeah, that's what I heard, that it's going to be the Targaryens leaving Old Valyria, which will be cool. But anyway, I don't want those to fail. A lot of people aren't going to watch those because of how bad Season 8 was. That's not good.
That's what happened with Better Call Saul.
Yes.
It's like a very good show. It's a prequel to Breaking Bad, if you don't know. And but season 5 was very.
I've watched more of Better Call Saul than I have Breaking Bad.
Better Call Saul it's super good, but like season 5 is pretty controversial amongst the fan base for Breaking Bad fans. So I think that drew a lot of people away from wanting to watch Better Call Saul. But so far with my Game of Thrones experience, like I said, I'm only in the middle of season 2. I'm like on season 2, episode 6. Like I just saw the dragons get kidnapped by something. I don't know who kidnapped them, but I just saw that. But
that's a whole good sequence of events.
Like so far, I'm like season 1 was okay. Season 1 was a lot of groundwork, so I understand that.
Season 1 is why my wife didn't watch it for 8 years.
Like season 1, I just like I was telling Chris, I was like, I like because they assume I'm smart enough to be able to understand what's going to happen. They just threw me into the fucking middle of it and said, "All right, figure it out. Figure out who's good, figure out who's bad, and have at it." And I enjoyed that. So there's a lot of groundwork with season 1. Season 2 so far, that's when it seems like it's starting to build up to what's going to happen.
When you're getting different perspectives now, too.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, but I'm in the boat of like, I don't know. I'm still kind of in that, like, what's the big appeal of this show? I'm like, it's good, but I don't see why everybody's like, it's the greatest thing ever. And I'm kind of hoping that changes, but then at the same time, I'm like, wait, I've heard so much kind of negative stuff about the later seasons that part of me is like, I kind of hope I don't get too entranced in it and then be disappointed later on. So.
Matt left the toilet running again.
Jeez.
My bad, dude.
Hey, I'm here for you.
Thanks, dude. But, if we are ready to move on, I have a topic that
yes,
I'd like to discuss.
I just wanted to get that out there. I don't hate Game of Thrones, and I don't hate the directors of the series, and I don't hate Game of Thrones fans. But we all looked forward to the finale of that show. You know, we didn't want the show to end, and that's part of the issue. That's part of the issue of our culture. You know, things eventually have to end, and we're always going to fight against it. But we didn't deserve that. Did we deserve something better? Maybe not. But you're making a lot of money to give us dog shit.
Yeah. I described it, I put in my notes that I was even going to mention it for this episode. I didn't exactly. So I described it to myself before I even watched it a second time, before I had other people justify it to me this episode and, you know, actually thought about the episode. I described it to myself as like drinking a glass of salt water. Because I was so thirsty and I was so ready for it. And I could even describe this entire season like this, but I was so ready for the conclusion of this. And I was so excited for it that I just fucking chugged that glass of water, but it turned out to be salt water, and it dehydrated me further. Mm-hmm. And I don't necessarily feel that way entirely anymore after watching it again and digesting it and really thinking about it. Before all of that, I still thought, okay, everything that happened, I agreed with. I just wished there was more going into those things. I wish there was more.
There should have been more development, more build up for a lot of things.
Absolutely.
But that
like I said,
I don't think that would have fixed a lot of the issues.
That first up till cut to black, that should have been an episode, and it should have been longer. Mm-hmm. Everything else should have been an epilogue.
Yeah.
One final episode to fucking wrap it up, and that should have been all that other stuff. The aftermath.
And a lot more of that.
What I didn't agree with was who?
So Skylar and I were watching the episode, and right before Who was chosen, I paused it, and I looked at her, and if that motherfucker gets chosen, I'm shutting it off right now. And I hit play, and that person was immediately chosen, and she said, "Are you going to shut it off?" And I said, "No, because I want to see what happens." She goes, and Skylar's response was, "I really want you to shut it off." Because this is awful. My wife is one of the most dense people on the fucking face of this earth. And she can point out poor plot. It was bad. So, I mean, you and I talked about it the night of, and we agree about a lot of things. We disagree about a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know,
I'm really on the fence about this now.
I rewatched it again too. And now that I've rewatched it, there's even more that I disagree with. So I was going to try and stay neutral and say, you know what, I wasn't happy with it, but that's how they wanted to end the show. And I just can't.
Well, I know you're not going to be here for Game of King Chair, but
I'm definitely going to watch. I'll be
Okay.
in the comments for sure.
Definitely watch. Definitely listen if you can't watch.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want you to hear us out.
Who's all going to be on Thursday?
So far, all I know is myself and Nick.
Okay.
I invited Mr. Clint Chase.
Clint, be on the fucking show, you troll.
He said he's going to look, because he has to be on the show last week, and I was like, I can't do that this week. However, be on standby for next week. So I let him know, and I messaged him today, and he said he'll let me know. So hopefully we can get him on. I'll
talk to him tonight. I'll fucking light a fire under his ass.
I'd really enjoy to have him here again.
I'll watch the finale and just talk about it.
Okay.
No.
I don't know who any of these people are.
I don't know where everybody went, but I'm assuming they died.
Where's all my people? Where's all my peoples at?
I know Daenerys. Arya got big.
So what's your topic, Matt?
So my topic was I was browsing the interwebs last night, particularly the YouTubes.
Oh, I thought you were going to say particularly incest porn.
No, that was before the YouTubes.
Okay. Or immediately after. Who knows?
Or during. Who knows?
Whoa.
But,
Wowzers. Multi-screen, bro.
Yep. I got dual screens for a reason, man. But anyway, I was feeling a little good last night and browsing the YouTubes. Scrolled across a video of, it was a tribute show for Cher.
For Cher?
For Cher.
Okay.
And they had Adam Lambert sing the song Believe. You know, a huge mega hit that she fucking had in like either the late 90s or early 2000s. And I was like, I'm going to watch it because I was seeing a bunch of like reaction videos and I was like, okay, it's a reaction video. So I'm assuming it's amazing or really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, nobody would react to it. So I'm watching it and I was like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. And it made me think, who are these singers like that we like categorize as like being more than just like a singer? You look at a performer versus
an actual
singer.
Artist and not just
and then
a performer.
I think you have like an artist, a performer, and then a singer. And like, I don't know if there's even something above artist, but it's like someone who's so amazingly talented that like there's an aura about them. And I was like,
you're talking like Freddie Mercury,
Celine
Dion.
Like,
man, I fuck with some Celine Dion real hard.
Dude, I was listening. Fucking my heart will go on all day today.
Good stuff.
My man.
Good stuff.
But
my
like,
man.
I was like,
Seal's another one.
Kiss from a Rose.
Fuck yes.
But I'm like, who are these people that are those transcendent singers? You know, like we said, Celine Dion, Freddie Mercury.
Are you saying of today's artist?
And I'm wondering of today's artists, is there any?
Lady Gaga.
And how much longer do we have to wait before we realize how amazing Adam Lambert is and we can put him in it? Because Jesus Christ,
definitely
dude.
fucking talented for sure.
Dude, on Broadway, television, now he's the fucking lead singer for Queen.
Wow.
And he's still putting out solo stuff.
He was an American Idol guy, right?
Yep.
He finished second. How the fuck he not win that goddamn season?
Mm-hmm.
But like, I'm trying to think of artists like today, and it's just like
Lady Gaga's the first one that comes to mind for me.
I would have to say her, and it's like, is there anybody else?
Maybe John Legend.
See, I don't know, because like when I listen to John Legend, I'm like, I feel like I can hear someone else sound like him. Whereas like when I'm listening,
Maybe maybe Alicia Keys then.
Adam Lambert last night, I was like, there's no fucking person on this planet that can sing like that man right now.
I think Alicia Keys would definitely be up there for sure.
But
just because of what she's done.
I just remember watching it, and I was like, by the end of it, I was like applauding at my computer screen, almost crying, because I was like, this is incredible.
How hard were you?
Pretty fucking hard.
Yeah.
Like, so he performed at this Cher tribute at the John F. Kennedy Center. Cher is there, and at the very end, he hits this incredible note, and it makes her jaw literal drop. Like the camera's fixated on her, and she goes, and that like there's. How do you describe that? Like, you make the original artist be in all of you.
Like when the Hart Sisters did Stairway to Heaven in front of fucking Led Zeppelin, and it made them all cry.
Yeah. Like,
God damn. That's the best version of Stairway to Heaven, by the way. Fight me about it.
I love Stairway to Heaven. Zeppelin, baby. But, like, who are these singers? Like, where did they go? We still have Celine Dion. She's 60-plus years old and still...
Gosh, she looks good, dude.
She's still better than fucking any of them.
Yeah, she is. I mean, what the fuck happened to Adele? She was on her way there.
I would say Adele's in there.
What's she done recently?
I mean, she doesn't put out as many albums, but I mean, she's selling out worldwide tours, dude.
I haven't heard anything from her.
I would say if you had to put them in... So today, I would say Adele, Sam Smith...
That's a good one.
Gaga, and then I want to put Adam Lambert in there just because, like I said, while I was listening to him last night, I'm like, there's no one that can sound like him. Those notes that he's hitting is ridiculous.
This is a really hard question for me to answer because I don't listen to any of that. I mean, not that I don't respect it,
but the thing is, you're familiar with it.
I am familiar with it. I do like Celine Dion. I do like Lady Gaga. I do like fucking Adele. But I just don't regularly listen to it. I'm not up to date with any of those artists.
I'm more in the thing of like
I want to say Bruno Mars.
You appreciate him. I can see Bruno because
definitely from a performer standpoint.
Yeah, but
very talented fucking dude.
I still think he's one of Michael Jackson's illegitimate children.
I agree.
Like he looks like Michael when Michael was younger.
He looks like Lil Mike.
He looks like
Lil Mike.
And then. Like, sounds like him.
I would say another artist for me would be Mike Tyson.
The knockout artist?
Mm-hmm. The knockout artist.
I'll eat your children.
His ability to play the piano and just paint a picture with his words.
That's crazy.
It gets me.
But I was just curious on that. Like, as I was watching these videos, I'm like, I don't feel like we have these transcendent singers anymore that are so famous. Like we had Sinatra and Elvis.
Oh man,
and like
Dean Martin. Maybe throw Michael Bublé in there.
Yeah, like
I mean, the guy's a fucking class act.
Yeah,
like we're hearing these like singers today. There's so many artists that come out, and they're popular. Post Malone is a good example. Post Malone is a very popular musician.
I fuck with Posty real hard.
I love Post Malone.
Very talented dude,
but. No way in my life am I going to go to a show of his and go, I would never hear this anywhere else. But, like, I tell you fucking what, dude. If I could go to Vegas and see Celine Dion, immediately. And it's not even just because of that. I would want to be in the presence of that much talent. Like, the woman is basically, she got so famous that they... like aired her wedding and her birth of her child on television in Canada. And she's not royalty. She's a fucking singer. She got famous from singing the Titanic song. Mm-hmm. Like she was a singer before then. And then just Leonardo DiCaprio decided to give her a career.
Fuck you, Titanic 2.
The Britannic. Was a real ship, by the way.
Yes it was.
Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I was just... I'm just curious on like.
I mean, pretty much the list that we went through of people are the only people that jump out to me immediately, and
Like-
it's definitely a lot fewer than generations past. Because some would argue that fucking old Madonna Rama's in there.
Whitney Houston.
Whitney Houston definitely.
You could say old Mariah Carey.
Ooh, fucking Mariah Carey still looks good too.
Yeah, she does.
She looking thick.
She's thicker than a Snicker.
Oh boy, she thick. But I don't know, man. That's a tough one.
Like Blaine, you're more into like the metal community. Can you think
Yeah.
of like a metal singer that you feel like is
Metal
that way,
singer.
or a rock singer? Because
Singer or
Jimmy
metal
Page
singer?
is, I would say, one of those, and Freddie Mercury are they're classic rock guys, and
Yeah.
they're seen as these iconic voices. You could even say maybe James Hetfield.
Fucking Ted Nugent.
Yeah, we got James Hetfield, we got Corey Taylor, we got Dave Grohl.
I love Dave Grohl.
Fuck Dave Grohl.
I fucking love Dave Grohl.
I mean, if we're talking like
Oh, my fucking
iconic
Lord.
fucking people, yeah,
Like I'm just
Corey
curious
Taylor for sure.
on like who's someone that, let's say you don't like their music that much, but you would want to go to their show just because of like how amazingly talented they are in that scene.
That's tough because I honestly don't know. I'd go to a fucking Toby Keith concert.
That's not the answer I expected.
No,
I'd go to a fucking Toby Keith concert.
I'm going off of like what is not necessarily something I would go to, but if I'm going to go to it, I'd go to it.
So
Toby Keith, Alan Jackson.
Alan
for sure.
fucking Jackson, man.
I went to a Blake Shelton concert a couple months ago, so I could take my wife so she could get off my back. But Blake Shelton was incredible. And who else played? Trace Adkins
Oh shit.
was incredible. It's hard because music right now is flooded with mumble rap and pop country and on the rock side of it, just shit. And I mean, Blaine, you and Blaine obviously recognize Corey Taylor and Dave Grohl, and I'm not a Foo Fighters guy, but obviously I recognize how talented Dave Grohl is. It's just tough because I feel like the field has multiplied exponentially, but the candidates have
Yeah.
gotten smaller.
It's become
or fewer,
very
fewer,
accessible.
yes.
And like I can take a genre of music and I can pick like these people that are so good in this genre of music, but then I'm trying to think of like people that regardless of genre you're like they are the best I've ever heard. Like I can't even describe like what I'm hearing, and like when I think about those singers I think about Freddie Mercury, Adele, I think Lady Gaga, these people that have gone basically to a point of where they're so famous they can't even, like Michael Jackson was that.
I mean,
There will never be another
Michael's
Jackson.
the fucking king of pop, man.
Like, they'll never-
Some would say Prince, but I fucking hated Prince.
I wasn't a huge Prince fan, but I respected that. Hendrix wasn't really even a singer, but he was just a guitar player.
Mm-hmm. Part of the reason I didn't really care for Prince is because people compare him to Michael so much. He's not on the same plane.
They're nothing even alike, though. That's the thing.
Was Prince an incredible musician? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Was he the king of pop? No, he wasn't. Prince was. Or no, Michael
was.
Jackson was.
Yeah.
The king of pop.
Yeah.
From the time he was a boy until he fucking died.
You ever watched the video of when he did the moonwalk on stage for the first time and people lost their fucking mind?
Oh, yeah.
How crazy is that? How cool would it be just to be at something like that? Later in history you're like, I was fucking there.
Mm-hmm.
If I were in the audience and Michael did that, I'd have fainted. I'd have passed out and be like, oh my gosh.
Mama, get the snakes. I got demons in
He's
me.
the demon. But like, there's so many candidates for music now that
When I feel like the quality has degraded so much.
I could say Ariana Grande is kind of getting there. I don't really like her songs, but I will recognize that she is an amazing.
I mean, just
singer.
talent-wise, Justin Bieber is
Justin
incredibly
Bieber
talented.
is an insanely good musician. Can play multiple instruments, and don't even get me started about the boy singing.
He fucking sings like
he can sing like a.
He sings like an
beautiful
angel,
gazelle.
like a gazelle.
Like a beautiful gazelle.
He sings like a beautiful baby gazelle, just perfect in every way, with angel wings and a mullet.
And he's wearing a tuxedo T-shirt.
Tuxedo T-shirt, and I'm in the front load of Skinner, and I'm hammered drunk.
That's another Skinnerd. Mm-hmm. Like, not even Sweet Home Alabama. Fucking Freebird. Or Simple Man.
Or Curtis Lowe.
Yeah.
That's my favorite Skinner song, Curtis Lowe.
I like Simple Man. But, you know, I'm trying to think of, like, these people, like, now, and it's so hard. Lady Gaga and maybe Ariana Grande are the only ones.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough for sure.
I'd love to see George Strait in concert.
Well, I saw him, and it was awful.
It was awful?
It was awful.
No.
So this is legitimately what he did. He had no opening acts. He walked out on the stage, tipped his hat, didn't say a word. Did not say a word. Just tipped his hat and did one of these. Played about 10 songs. Put his guitar down, turned around, walked off the stage.
Well, there got the business.
It was awful.
I think if I could go see any country singer, though, past or present, it'd be Randy Travis.
Randy Travis is a good one.
I love Randy Travis.
You know who I thought was incredible? Well, fucking Garth.
I'm not a big Garth Brooks fan.
Man, but fucking his
I hear he puts on a show.
His show is incredible.
Like, I hear he puts on a show, but I am not a huge Garth Brooks fan.
Yeah, I mean, Travis Tritt was one that I always enjoyed.
Dude, Travis Tritt is fantastic.
I mean, you said Randy Travis, which, you don't...
Brooks and Dunn.
Brooks and Dunn. I mean, you want to talk about a stage show. Fucking Brooks and Dunn had it figured out, man.
Yeah. My Maria is my shit. I fucking love My Maria.
I tell you what, I don't know that I would ever go to another one, but I went to a Jimmy Buffett concert in high school. Mm-hmm. And I'm not a big Jimmy Buffett dude, but just the atmosphere and the people and, his performance, and it was just great, you know. I did it once, so I don't really need to do it again. Yeah. That's why people go to Dave Matthews Band every year. I hate Dave Matthews Band. Mm-hmm. But once I went to that Jimmy Buffett concert, I kind of understood.
You got it.
I understood why people go. That's really all I got to say about that.
Yeah.
You done, Blake?
Oh, cool. As soon as I get back, you're done.
Well, it's time to wrap it
up.
What
all did I miss?
We started talking about some country stuff after you left.
Oh, thank God I wasn't here.
It was good country stuff.
Oh, okay.
Not the bad stuff.
Okay.
Not the
good old 90s and 80s.
Not the Florida Georgia line.
Not
bullshit.
Not the Florida Georgia lines and the Kane Browns. And
you could always go with Kelly Clarkson.
I think Kelly's great.
Kelly Clarkson, and I would say Carrie Underwood also. Carrie Underwood's a great...
I don't know much Carrie Underwood.
God, in them legs.
I know.
I don't know much Carrie Underwood. I do know a lot of Kelly Clarkson though, and I like her music. I like her lyrics. I like her songs.
Well, you would know more of Kelly Clarkson because she's more on the pop radio side too.
Yeah.
Look at
Carrie Underwood. She
look
puts
at
out
look at a
great
picture
music.
of Carrie Underwood's legs.
I'm good.
That's all you need
to do.
I'm good.
Just look at her legs. I'm not telling you to look at her hoo-ha.
Well,
if you can find that, though, look at that too.
Yeah.
And then send me the link.
Like, literally, just look at that woman's legs.
She is gorgeous.
They're perfect.
I fell in love with Carrie Underwood when she was on American Idol, and she did her rendition of "I Told You So" by Randy Travis.
Yeah.
And I was all for that girl then, and I still am all for that girl. Good. God love me some Randy Travis.
You know who? One. Okay, so this is like one of the last.
Keith Urban too.
One of the last seasons of American Idol I watched, or like legitimately watched. Someone who should have won and also should have had a much better career, Catherine McPhee.
I mean, she's been in movies and stuff.
She's been in movies, but the American Idol is not about movies. It's about fucking singing.
The last season of American Idol that I watched was the one with Chris Daughtry on it.
That was that same season.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the one with...
He got kicked off because he already had a record deal.
Yeah, that was the season with Chris Daughtry and Amanda Overmeyer from Delphi.
Was she on that season? I thought she was on a different one.
Same season.
The one that the last one that I watched before that was the one with Ruben Studdard.
That was season 2.
Those are the only 2 seasons of American
I haven't
Idol
watched. I've never
and the one
watched
with
it.
fucking she bang,
Oh God.
oh baby, and she moved.
What's his name? William Hung.
William Hung.
See, I watched The Voice.
Oh my God.
I love The Voice.
Yeah.
So completely not on topic. I had something happen to me this weekend. My identity was stolen.
Oh lordy. Matt, does Matt know about this?
I don't think Matt knows about this because this actually happened while I was hanging out with him. Kinda. Actually, no, it happened like around 8:00. But
It feels bad. Oh, the pizza thing.
yeah.
Wait, you hang out with Matt, but not me?
Wait, how did you see it?
Kristen showed me.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say like, wait, you got rid of Facebook. You don't know about this.
Yeah, Kristen showed me.
So
And I
for
just
those,
went,
Wait, you hang out
Jesus
with Matt,
Christ.
but not me?
okay, here's what happened.
I am hurt.
Here's what happened.
I am hurt.
So we canceled our plans for a fire.
Yep.
And then,
So I came over for the fire.
So then out of nowhere, she's like, I'm still having a fire if it's nice. I don't care. I was like, okay, so I guess we're having a fire, but like I'm not going to tell the people I invited that it's uncanceled because I feel like that's stupid. So, and I felt like you weren't going to come anyway, so.
Well, you told me it was canceled. So
Yeah, I felt like you weren't going to come even if.
I was hanging out with Dave, and Dave's like,
That fire sucked anyway, dude. The thing
Yeah,
wouldn't even light. I was throwing fucking like tiki torch fluid all over it and burned for 2 seconds, and then the wood just.
I was
And
hanging,
then
I
it was
hanging out
like,
with Dave, and I was like, well, Blaine told me it was canceled, and Dave's like, well, Blaine didn't tell me it was canceled, and I was like,
yeah, he was like a last second invite.
and I was like, well, I don't know what to tell you, man. I mean, Blaine told me it was canceled, so I'm not going.
Yeah, he was like a last second invite, so I didn't know he was hanging out with you.
That's
I knew
what-
he was at some D&D thing.
Yeah, that's where I was at.
I
was going down on him.
But no, it would go out, and then it would be out for like 20. It was out for like 20 minutes, and then out of nowhere, we just already gave up on it. And it's
we were just sitting by the fucking embers,
By the
and then all of a
walls.
sudden it just goes.
well, Miranda walked away, and then it.
There it was.
Yeah.
She's taking all
But
the
anyway-
goddamn oxygen out of the room.
Anyway, so
And that's outside.
so what happened was we're at the vault, and for whatever reason, I'm on my phone
Like normal.
like normal, and I check my email, and it says your Domino's order. I'm like, well, excuse me. I look, and I'm like, what the hell, California? So like, I didn't even look at what the order was. I was like, whatever. This is not mine. I immediately checked my bank account. Nothing. It's good. We're good. But I look at the order. All they did was redeem my 2 medium pizzas and pay a delivery charge and tax, which was $4.36.
Did you get your free pizzas back?
No, I didn't. I haven't tried. I was like, whatever.
Why the fuck wouldn't you get your free shit back?
It's the principle, Blaine.
It is the principle, but at the same time, it's like 30%.
Like, yeah.
No, I honestly don't care that much about my free pizzas. I don't.
Look
eat
at all
them.
the people that jumped to your defense, though.
It was funny.
I fucking
It was
messaged those. I
hilarious.
messaged them too.
Did you get a response?
They didn't respond to me.
They responded to me, and they responded to Jack. I don't know if they responded to anybody
I think
else.
they responded to a couple other people if you look at the chat, but
I didn't see anybody.
I thought
else.
there was maybe 1 or 2 more people.
I'm pretty sure it was just Jack. It was just Jack. But yeah, so in the morning after being out the night and all that, and waking up the next morning, I decided to look at it. I'm like, the fucking phone number's there. So I texted it. I'm like, I hope you enjoyed the pizza. And then I screenshotted it, posted on Facebook, and I'm like, I've been pizza frauded. And
They straight stole your pizzas, bro.
they straight stole my pizzas.
That's an act of war. We should burn them alive in their homes.
So he responded. This dude
down, bro.
responded with. This dude responded with,
I
"I
work at a
did,
pizza place. I'll hook
thanks,"
you up.
and then he gave the kissy face emoji. I'm like, "Wow, fuck you."
Dude, ultimate troll level.
But GG,
Troll 100.
and then guys,
Hey, I'm getting some pizza fraud.
but no, Jack fucking
He went ham.
He talked to him.
Oh yeah.
Like he left him a voicemail.
Listen, boy.
He left him a voicemail. He sent me a video of himself leaving the voicemail.
What did it say?
Oh, I'll play it. Hold on.
Yeah, please play it.
What time are we at?
Yeah, we need to be wrapping up. We have kids upstairs.
Let's play this video. Let's get rolling.
Keep trolling. The phone's ringing.
No, that's better.
Still ringing. I know you're ringing.
Watch your back, you pizza stealing bitch.
He said, "Watch your back, you pizza stealing bitch."
That was great.
Thank you, Jack. They went back and forth for a little bit, and basically the information we got out of him was the guy bought my Domino's account off the dark web
For 50 cents.
For 50 cents. And what this guy supposedly does is he orders the pizza, sends it to an address that he knows is nearby, meets them outside, and just pays cash. But supposedly it was on a burner phone, and supposedly it was at some random address that he just happens to be nearby. Well, someone in those comments did a background check.
Calvin. It was Calvin.
It was Calvin, yeah. And it came up his name, his phone number
At that address.
So, I'm very tempted to get on like shipadick.com, bag of dicks, fucking to start sending him a bunch of bullshit.
Send him a bag of shit.
Because
Send him a legit bag of shit.
and he had the audacity. He's like, "Look, just be glad I only redeemed your free pizzas and I didn't use the credit card that was linked to your account." Motherfucker, you can't use that because 1, you need an expiration date. 2, you need a CVC code. 3, you need a zip code. You need at least one of those things. More than likely 2 of those things: expiration date, CVC code.
How do you even access the dark web?
Very carefully.
I've always wondered that.
I want to access the dark web.
Like I
want to
hear
see
that.
all that incest porn.
Like these people. Jesus fucking Christ!
But yeah, so
in the episode now, I'm done.
He's like, besides, this is the burner phone. I was like, wow, that's a really fucking expensive pizza if you got a burner phone just to.
Going to the bar now.
Are you out of here?
Yeah, dude. I told you in the episode.
Are you really going to the bar?
But that's that. I changed my account. I changed my password and all that, and we're good. Hopefully, I'm tempted to change my passwords on like everything now.
I would. Oh yeah.
But if that is that, that is that.
Not goddamn incest porn again.
Bye, Matt. For those listening and watching, definitely check out this Thursday. We're gonna wrap up season 8 of Game of Thrones via our exclusive show, Game of King Chair, and it's gonna be. I don't know how this episode's gonna go because I'm pretty sure I have found a way to like the episode. I know Nick liked the episode, so we'll see what happens. So yeah, definitely check out Game of King Chair, and check us out live every Tuesday on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook right around 5:30. And you can check us out on iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, and Stitcher Radio on Podcastrophe. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Journey into Comics Network. They're what helped us get us a start. I started out on the Journey into Comics podcast by doing guest stuff. And, they've always been good to us. And we are forever in their debt. Not to mention, we're part of their network. So check them out. Check all their awesome shows out, like Brews with Dudes and Dungeons with Dudes and Adulting Ain't Easy and Foodies Watching Movies, and the list goes on. Crucial Tunes.
We bend the knee to the Journey in the Comics.
Yeah, we bent the knee a long time ago to that. We're just part of it. We're essentially the small council of Journey into Comics.
You should rename the group chat the Small Council.
I might. It's tempting.
Are you the hand of the king?
Kinda am.
F&A Cotton.
That's between Blaine and I.
I was asked to be originally, so.
I'm the butchered son.
And then I decided to bring you in, and then he decided to bring AP in, and then I decided to bring Nick in. We were the Elite Four. Then we turned into 5.
That means you're the Elite Four plus the champion.
Yes.
I'm the champion.
I'm the champion.
I think Nate's the champion.
Bye, Matt.
Bye, Matt. And
Bye, Cat.
bye, podcast. Thank you for listening. And if that is all, that is all.
Dick!
Please make every day a big dick day. Bye, guys.
Woke up this morning with my dick in my hand. Girlie's to the right of me, just like our plan. It's gonna be a big dick day. It's gonna be a big dick day. It's gonna be a big dick day.